You guys are probably not going to believe what just happened to me. Morning, everyone. It is almost 9 o'clock in the morning. The cats and I had a really good evening. I cracked out a little bit of the catnip for them. I left the lights on in the back while we were up. Ran the heater the whole time until it was time for bed, so it was nice and toasty back there, and they just pretty much had a nice, wild, playful time. They wore themselves out. Give me a second here. They wore themselves out, and it was just a fun night in, really. So didn't really go to sleep till after 3 in the morning. So it's a rainy, cold day, not super cold. It's in the high 40s. So I didn't really want to get up, but we need to get on the work side of town. We do work tonight. The gym is open today till 7. I definitely want to get in there and get a really good, honest to goodness shower. This is the longest I've gone without a gym shower since we've been in the van. So that was my last real shower was 3 days ago. Let me see. No, 4 days ago. So I haven't had a good real shower for 4 days. Now, I spray bottle shower every day that I'm not there. I'm not a skip a day of cleaning myself type of person, but nothing really takes the place of a good hot, turn the water on, scrub down, rinse off kind of shower. So to that. We have, hopefully my package comes in today and it solves one of my winter anxieties. Probably creates a new winter anxiety, but it solves one of our winter anxieties. It's supposed to be raining all day today, so we're not going to get any sun, and it's kind of going to hurt us. I'm hoping tomorrow's a clear day, but we're probably going to drop down into the 40% range on my battery bank, because I did run, and it does take a lot of power really, but I did run my TV, my DVD player, the interior lights, the electric blanket, and of course my cooler's always running. So did that all yesterday and last night, but I don't regret it. That was a good time. It's nice to just have that feeling like the equivalent of when you were in, say, an apartment or something, where you have your favorite show on the TV. You know, you're nice and warm. You got your lights on, and you're just enjoying a night in. I think things are really starting to feel more homey back there for me. That spice rack made a big difference, because between the spice rack and the butane cooktop, you know, it really feels like I can do stuff the way I want. Like if I want to cook, I can cook. And when I'm cooking, I can just reach over, grab some spices. And over time, we'll grow my spice selection. And we'll continue to keep upgrading. I mean, you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We did spend a little bit more than we should have over these last 2 weeks. Some just, you know, on some fast food that, you know, I didn't necessarily need to have, and other things because I knew we weren't going to be able to buy things while everything was closed for Thanksgiving Day. And then just things that I put off, like yesterday, of course, we finally got big bottle of propane. But that's one of those investments that will reduce the amount of clutter I have in the back, because, you know, the green bottles, once you empty them out, you got a lot of them laying around, and it's more cost effective to get a big bottle like this. I can run my heater longer on my days off. Like, say when I'm off, I'm in the van more, and instead of going, okay, take a chill out of the air and then stop, I can run it on low for a while when it starts getting cold, you know, and that'll be nice. So hopefully that was a smart investment, and we don't have any issues with leaks or something like that, but hopefully that was a smart investment, and we'll save money in the future. We've got, I always say this and I always end up going and buying something else, but we've got food at least until payday. I've got leftover fried rice. I've got some leftover white rice. I've got some tuna packets. I've got 2 chicken thighs I need to cook up between today and tomorrow. It might be 3 chicken thighs that I can do something with. We've got pasta we can cook up. See, now we can cook up things. We can say things like that. And we've got a couple Hawaii rolls left. Sorry. I didn't get as much sleep as I should get, and I'll go back to sleep once we get to our stopping point. But it's this is a nice sleep weather day. It's not a storm, it's just a steady sprinkle. I don't know. It's just a light, steady sprinkle. It's overcast. This is what I would deem sleeping weather. And sleeping in a rainy day in a van is one of my favorite things to do anyway. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to go post up by the Amazon lockbox, so when it comes in I can just go in and get it. Once that comes in, unless it's too late, head over to the gym, get a nice shower, and more than likely a workout in. You know, we work today and we're off for the next 2 days. I went ahead and picked up another Saturday shift at that gas station again. I'm resisting the urge to do 2 back-to-back right now. Not because of the work, because I actually like occupying my time, because when you live in a van now, the commutes aren't an issue, and getting enough sleep's not an issue, but it's just not enough. I'm not going to say there's not enough to do, but you have to hunt for things to do, and then that kind of makes it a little more boring, if that makes any sense. Plus, I don't want to burn myself out or overstay my welcome, so going in on a Saturday, getting that much stuff done that I get done in 4 hours, it gets noticeable, and it makes it easier on them without them, you know, feeling like, you know, I'm taking something away from their task. That being said, I'll probably try to pick up more shifts when it comes up around Christmas time. So essentially, next month I might look at things more. I do need to start tightening my budget up. You know, I'm not accumulating any new bills. Like, I'm not putting more stuff on my credit cards or anything like that. It's just a matter of I still need to save enough money to, I basically need to save at least another $2,000 by January, because I believe that's when my storage is due. And if I can do that, then we're good for 6 months, as long as the van's still tagging in. I'm hoping to be able to get my gearbox fixed and everything. It's going to be May at the earliest, because I need to wait till my son comes back into town so I can drop the van off. I can get a place to put the, so I get a hotel, put the cats there, have my son pick me up when I drop off the van, and then they usually only take a day to work on things, and then the van will be good to go, which is good because, you know, I'm trying to be prepped for summer. So you guys can start helping by subscribing to this channel, commenting, even sharing or copying the link, and of course watching these videos to the end. That's the most important part for new YouTubers, apparently. So I can start prepping and everything for summer. And if I can get back to what I used to do, like full time again, or at least through summer, that would be great. And what that's going to require is I got to order new inventory of product. And I won't go into detail as far as on this channel. If I go back to doing that stuff and everything, I won't go into detail what I'm doing there. It'll just be documenting the journey and things I do outside of that. That's its own animal. And even if I do it, I'm probably, at the most, the game plan is to do it maybe for another 5 years. I know that's big, but if you keep watching, you'll figure out what it is. Yeah, this whole, you know, holiday weekend, there hasn't been a whole lot of daytime traffic, or even evening traffic. Like, Buc-ee's is always busy, but I don't have a lot of competition on this road. Since I don't take the interstate, and most of these places were closed for the holidays, I did expect more traffic this morning, just because it is Sunday, and I have a lot of churches from here to my destination, but it looks like that's not even something I should have worried about. So, alright, enough rambling. I do like talking with you guys. It helps me get the thoughts out of my head, because I do go, short of texting my son or something, I do go for days sometimes without actually having a conversation with anybody. So you guys are my conversation. I'll get back with you when I pull into my stopping spot. Okay, we have arrived. So I am literally just going to go back to the back and get some more shut-eye and probably just goof off until hopefully my package comes in sooner rather than later, once we get it. then I'm probably going to go to the gym around 5 o'clock because I want to be as clean and scrubbed as I can be before work. I don't like to get there last minute for them, so I get there at 5. I do a workout. I mean, I only last about 30 minutes right now, so 5:30, shower and everything. Sometimes I take a while, so let's say 6. So that's an hour before they close, and still about 4 hours before I have to go to work. So I think that's a good plan. We'll see if I do anything else today. But it's a nice chill Sunday. Home Depot parking lot is virtually empty, and you know they open at 6 a.m. So Dollar Tree is open, and it looks like just the employees are here. I mean, if I had anything I need to get at Dollar Tree, which I don't, other than my package at the drop box when it comes in, this is the best time to go in. Lately, my timing's been poor. They don't have the self-checkout on as often as they used to, so I end up standing in a line. We're talking about like up to 20 people in line sometimes, and I'm just picking up like 1 or 2 items. Well, package arrived. Let's see what we can do with it. It's a little too dark to show you, but I do have the tank hooked up. I did the soapy water test. I tested the heater and it works. It's almost 5:30 at night, so I'm going to run over to the gym real quick and get my shower in. Then I'll come back and run this heater for a bit to make sure there's no issues. Catch up with you in a little bit. All right, I think I'm just going to do the shower thing, but going to the gym. Be back. All right. Finished with the gym. Did a thing. I was in a mood for a McDonald's Coke, so they had a deal where I get a free Coke any size with the purchase of a double cheeseburger. So that's what I did. See you in the back. In the back of the van now. Getting ready to eat this little bit of McDonald's. It was a really nice, long, hot shower. I'm the only one that had the... I had the shower to myself, and I had almost scalding hot water, so I enjoyed every minute of it. Feel really good now. Came out, was just thirsty, and I really wanted a good Coke, and I know I like my McDonald's Coke, so that's where I went. You know I like my McDonald's Coke, so that's what I did. We still got about 3 hours before we have to be at work. I'm over here at the Winn-Dixie parking lot on the far end. You know, they're selling Christmas trees right now, so those guys are on the other side over there. It's not super cold in here, but I think I am going to kick on this heater just to give it a test, a good run, show you what I got going on. And I did the soapy water test on both sides already. The feed, the line goes from here, and it runs up over to the top corner right there past that little gray barrier, and then it drops down to the tank that's in the floor of where the passenger seat would have been. I already tested it out once, and then I purged the line. I guess I'm doing it right. I basically shut off the valve on the main propane tank and let this thing keep burning till it shuts off completely. That's what I did anyway. So I'm getting ready to go turn the valve back on and let the stuff run through and turn the heater on. Hopefully it works and we don't blow up. That is the anxiety I have with this. I turned the valve on all the way on the propane tank up there, and now we're getting ready to try to fire this thing on. So, turn the knob. Let the gas run through. There we go. Doesn't take much. I eventually need to get that filter for it. It's supposed to help keep the contaminants out. but we're on a budget, so. All right, it's up and running. Should be working. Whew. Well, since the last time you saw me, it's been a crazy, probably hour or so. As soon as I told you guys that this heater was working, it cut off. So, now, to be fair, it slid and took a tumble prior to that because I forgot to take it off this chair when I was driving over to the gym. So the pilot light would come on, but it wouldn't stay. You couldn't get it to light. It'd go off. The pilot light would go off. So I looked up some YouTube videos that said, you know, put some alcohol on the end of a cotton swab and clean it out. Now I don't have any alcohol, so I used hand sanitizer. It kind of made the flame stronger for a little bit, and then it ended. I took the line off and I pushed the thing in like they said to do outside the van and purged the line. I didn't get any oil. It's a Mr. Heater brand hose as far as the packaging says. I don't have that filter on there, which I eventually need to get, although I hear it's harder to light once you put the filter on there. But I was trying for at least 30, 40 minutes trying to get this thing to go. I unhooked the hose, rehooked the hose, cleaned out everything. Now, the other thing you could do is clean the lines out if there's oil in them by taking it apart. But I don't have access to a long enough Phillips to get in there anyway. And to be honest with you, I don't want to do that right now. So I ran to my Walmart, which is where I'm at. I'm in my usual parking spot. Went in to go get a Mr. Buddy heater. They're completely out of the Mr. Buddy heater. They had 2 of the Ozark Trail ones. They're kind of what they call the Ozark Trail knockoffs. I looked it up. It could do kind of the same thing. It says it burns hotter, but not as long. But I was in a bind. I didn't want to not have heat back here. It's my only heat source, and it's going to be cold for the next few nights. So I grabbed it, came in, and I was about to disconnect the line. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it one more time. Because I had tried... Maybe the line coming up and over was the problem, so I put it down on ground level, everything. So I drove over here, of course, and that's the only thing different that happened. And I went to light it. The pilot light looked like the flame was longer, so I was like, okay. So I turned it, and it lit right up. I disconnected the line, put it back here, ran the line the way I wanted to again, put it back here, started it up. It's working just fine. That's on low. What I'm sure is there was something dirty in the line, and between me trying to clean it out and then the drive here, because this van shakes and rumbles, I think we cleared the line enough. So it's burning just fine. So then, after 5 minutes of owning that Ozark Trail one, I ran back in, got my return, put the money back on the credit card I used because I really couldn't afford to get another one. So that one's already been returned. So in the time you saw me, I had heater go out, replaced the heater started working, returned the other heater, and I'm back in the van, and I still have an hour before I need to go inside to work. So I'm glad the heater's working. It's on low, seems to be fine. Cats are a bit crazy today. I think they see me scrambling, so it kind of gets them on edge. So they've been getting a little cat fights with each other, slapping each other, and just, you know, being cats. All right, I'm kind of already dressed because I didn't want to go inside in my shorts if I was going to be seeing other coworkers. So I put my work pants on and went in there. So it won't take me long to get ready. So I'm going to chill, but I wanted to update you guys that I thought I had trouble with the hose. I thought I had a knockoff hose because I didn't realize that I ordered the Mr. Buddy brand. So the packaging was really good, annoyingly good, where I had to cut the thing open. I was worried about cutting the hose and all this other stuff. But right now, that hose is working. I think something like 200 hours is what they say is the realistic numbers you get off of a 20-pound propane tank, which, you know, that's in not ideal conditions is what it said. Over 200 hours in ideal conditions, but clearly we're not in ideal conditions. So the Mr. Buddy is supposed to get 200 hours, so we'll see. I'm going to kind of try to keep up with it. So I'm going to round up a little bit. So it's 8:30 now. I'm going to say this thing started at 8. We'll see when I shut it down. I'm going to try to log it and see how many hours we get out of this tank. I'm happy that I ended up not having to have that Ozark Trail one, although I was pretty curious about that one. And I almost kept it. I didn't need to keep it, but I was going to throw it into the Fiat and have it as an emergency backup. You know, if you ever get stranded, you know, Fiat can run out of battery. You can be stuck on the side of the road. And if you got no heating source and you've got no battery, having that little heater, if it's like the buddy heater, a little green propane tank to keep you warm till a tow truck gets there, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But I didn't need to spend any more money, so I'm so happy this one decided to work. I hope it stays working. That was good.